Item number 16.
15.
Oh, excuse me, 15 is first.
I have a conflict. I'm going to recuse myself, step away.
Okay. All right, it says, consider and if necessary to take action on the resolution for payment of attorney fees that were proposed by the hospital district's attorney. So, John, I believe you put that on the agenda?
Yes, I'd be thrilled if we could go ahead and find some way to pay the first $25,000 of the attorney's fees, if there are, to the attorneys in order to begin the operation of the entire insurance policy. And I don't know what the actual thing that Kevin Reed sent us was. We read it last time, and it wasn't agreeable with everyone. There were parts of it that were objectionable, I guess, to some.
So if memory serves me, Ron, you had some objections. What were your objections to? Was it the way it was written, or the principle, or the?
No, it's the resolution. It was drawn, and as I understand it, that resolution was drawn pursuant to a Attorney General's opinion somewhere back down the line that a board, if they were going to expend public funds to pay a deductible on an insurance policy, that they should find, or not find as the case may be, but if they're going to expend those funds, they should find that it is in the best interest of the residents of that particular district, which in this case, of course, is Somervell County residents, and not in the sole interest of the individual who may have been sued. And my position is that the whole time I've been on this district, that I have not seen anything that Mr. Harper has done that has been in the best interest of the residents of this district. And therefore, I can't in good conscience find that it's in the best interest of the district to pay $25,000 towards his attorney's fees, and that's the way I feel about it.
Just because he was on the board and has been sued for actions he reportedly did while sitting as a board member in session.
Did you hear what I said? I said that it says that it should be in the best interest of the residents of the district. If you've got somebody on board who does not do anything that's in the best interest of the residents of the district, then how can you spend taxpayer money to benefit that person? And I challenge anybody on this board, again, to list me one thing that Paul Harper has done on this board that's been in the benefit of the residents of this district and this hospital.
Is there any way that Kevin could write it that you would agree with?
Well, I think the issue is that that resolution was drawn under the guidelines that was put out in the Attorney General's opinion. And it makes perfect sense that if you're going to spend taxpayer money, that it must be for the benefit of the taxpayers.
Yeah. So I'm assuming probably the next step here is for Paul, I don't know this, but my assumption would be that Paul would then turn around and sue us, and so instead of giving Paul the 25, we'll give it to Kevin, then we'll ultimately give it to Paul.
He can do whatever he has the legal right to do, but I cannot, for one member of this board, I cannot sit here and pass and sign a resolution that says it's in the best interest of the district and the residents of the district to pay the money. So.
But it's like everything else, it's paying now or paying later.
Perhaps, but perhaps not. But I think you should do what's right, regardless.
Well, so in that case, if the shoe were on the other foot and somebody here in county decides to sue you because they don't like the color of your car or whatever it is, because they saw what we were at a board meeting, then you would not feel that the board should kick in. Of course, I didn't realize when we got elected on the board that we had a $25,000 deductible on our policy. I believe what was stated in the first meeting is, hey, we got insurance, y'all are bonded, don't worry about it, we got this. And so, you know, of course, I guess maybe we should look into it a little bit more. Of course, I didn't know we were going to start getting sued first right out of the box. I thought it'd take long.
Well, my position is, Mr. President, that if you do what's right, that you know in your heart and your mind is right for the residents of this district, you shouldn't worry about having to get sued. But if you come in here with a pre-made up agenda to do something, and that's the reason you get elected, and you start doing stuff like that, that's what's going to happen to you.
Let me tell you, every presidential candidate I ever voted for in my life was because of what he told me he was going to do. I never once voted for a guy because I thought he was a good old boy.
Well, I'll just say this and I'll stop. But when you get on this board now, you know, some members of this board probably had preconceived notions about what the situation was concerning this hospital. And all of you know that a lot of that, and I saw it in print, administration, and kept talking about administration. And you come into office thinking all you got to do is replace all of the administration of this hospital and everything will be fine. That's the farthest from the truth there is. And if you come in and if you pay attention and you learn what the real facts are, then you shouldn't get up and make a motion to set the tax rate at 0, because you should know that that will shut the doors of this hospital. That's exactly what Mr. Harper did. That's what got him sued.
I think go back and check the video on that. It was not a motion, it was discussion.
Au contraire, I believe you go watch it. I watched it. He said, I moved. So we set it at 0.
I'll make a motion that those are actual meeting minutes from August 21st.
Do we have a second?
I'll second
All right. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Passes 7-1, Mr. Secretary.
Don't believe
that.
it's recognized.
It's neither here nor there.
All right. Any further discussion?
I still believe we need to get our insurance working. I think we owe it to all board members who get sued for something they're doing on the board to be covered by the insurance policy we have to cover the board members for being sued, put on board for actions on board.
Is that a motion?
I'll move that.
So we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Show that it's deadlocked and carried through.